So what's up guys, this is Andre Kenshin. Before the start off, because as you can see, NBA 2K12 All-Star Weekend will be postponed because there are several internet issues on the red light. So we're gonna use the making football predictions now. So as you can see, what's up guys, this is Andre Kenshin, and yes, the 2024-2025 NFL season is here. So there are 4 weeks left before the start of the 2024 football. This is gonna be every time right here over the last 5 years right here. They did 2020, 2021, 22, and 23. This is gonna be interesting right there. It's gonna start off this new season. It's gonna be a great season right now. I'm gonna start off in the right divisions right now. It's gonna get the divisions. It's gonna win here. Comment down below who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl 59 on Fox. It's gonna be great. So now we're gonna start off with the AFC East. So start off with the AFC East. We're gonna start off with the 4th place New England Patriots. Last season, Bill Belichick is still unhappy, and because of about the end of the Patriot dynasty, so the new coach for the Patriots, as Bill Belichick still not in the progress for the coach, as Mac Jones unhappy, did not taking the worst record for the Patriots. So only have 4 wins and 13 losses the last season. So Patriots are gonna take it 5-12. So I'm gonna go. Patriots gonna go for 5-12 in the last. I'm gonna hit the 5-12. Let's get going easy. I'm gonna go for 5-12. So the 4th place is gonna be the 5-12 New England Patriots, who are not gonna make it to the playoffs right there. It's too easy right now. And the next one, the 3rd place is gonna be the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins in the last season, they entered the playoffs as the 6th seed with 11-6. As they last season, they ended up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC wildcard game. But I'm gonna take the Tua Tagovailoa, still nothing less. So I'm gonna take the Tua Tagovailoa, and Dolphins will not gonna get in with 9-8. So I'm gonna go with Dolphins with 9-8. So Miami Dolphins is on the 9-8. So the good Miami Dolphins is gonna get a 9-8 team right there. As you see, 1-5 divisions, and no one's gonna stop there. Now to move on. 2nd place is gonna be Josh Allen of the Bills. Oops, I didn't do Jets here. So 2nd place is gonna go Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Last season, Buffalo Bills in the AFC East champion, the 2nd seed with 11-6. And what happened in the AFC division in the 10? What happened? The Bills almost get an overtime as they missed the right number 2. But this year, I'm gonna say Buffalo Bills fans are gonna go to 12-5 or something, 11-6, and the Bills are gonna go with 11-6. They're gonna get there right now for the Buffalo Bills. So as you see, Buffalo Bills are 11-6. So we're gonna take in the number 6 seed. We're gonna make it to the playoffs right there as the 4-2 division by Josh Allen. It's gonna be not easy cause right there in the last time. So now we're gonna do it right there, and now finally, I'm gonna get the AFC East champs. The New York Jets will be the 1st place, causing Aaron Rodgers is back. Last season, Aaron Rodgers did not play entirely since the after injury Achilles in Week 1 against the Bills in 2023. So Aaron Rodgers said they're gonna chance to get back into the playoffs as the Jets fans will ending the drought. So by the way, I'm gonna set the New York Jets into the playoffs as the number 3 or 2 seeds gonna good and happen. So we're gonna go the Jets with Aaron Rodgers with 13-4. So as you see, New York Jets are 13-4. It's gonna be easy. No one's gonna have them right there for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers said, "I said we're gonna get back to make it to the playoffs as we're looking to end of the drought." That means the Jets are gonna make it to the playoffs. It's not gonna be easy. Now move on to the AFC North. Start off with the 4th place, the Cleveland Browns. Last season, Cleveland Browns is in the playoffs as the number 5 seed in the AFC North. So then ended up losing to the Houston Texans, and they said Deshaun Watson said, "I don't see the Deshaun Watson is gonna take over here." And right said the Browns fans are about to get back to hoping the 2nd playoff victories instead. So we're gonna go for the Browns fans. We're not gonna get to the playoffs as the Browns will go at I believe 9 or 8 or 8-9. We're gonna go 8-9 for the Browns. Will not enter the playoffs. Alright, so Cleveland Browns are 8-9, so they're not gonna make it to the playoffs. It's 11th place, and so far, and they're not gonna get in. Now move on to the third place, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the good and the right there in the last season. Steelers in the make it to the playoffs as the 7th seed. Now this time to make it the first season, Russell Wilson will be edged to downtown Pittsburgh. The Steelers deal with Kenny Pickett. We're gonna set the Steelers fans. They're gonna get the Rolly Towers around the way. It's gonna be a great game now. So we're gonna set Steelers are go for 9-8 because we're gonna set difference between special teams in the 9-8 or something 10-7. So I'm gonna go Steelers are 9-8. So the Steelers are in 9-8, so we're gonna get into the playoffs soon. As quickly as possible for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe we're gonna take it in the 9-8. They're not gonna enter the playoffs. Now to move on to the second place is the Cincinnati Bengals. Last season, Joe Burrow did not play, causing the injury and out of the season anytime in week 12 to week 18 because the Bengals are not in the playoffs because Joe Burrow was injured. So I gave you this set to the Bengals fans. We're gonna go over the Bengals. I'm gonna say we're going to 12-5 team for the Bengals fans as the Bengals will head to the playoffs with 12-5. We're gonna go 12-5 with Joe Burrow with the Bengals. They're now into the playoffs. So Joe Burrow of the Bengals will get into the playoffs as a 6th seed, 12-5 right there. We're gonna take it so far in this tournament. And finally, the first place is gonna be the former 2019 MVP Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. So that won't happen because the Ravens fans and then make it to the number 1 seed with 13-4 with the best record in the AFC. We're right there to so far with Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna say the Ravens fans are going to 14-3 into the make it to the playoffs as the number 2 seed in the AFC. So they get a chance to get back for the AFC Championship game. So we're gonna go with Ravens with our 14-3. So now Ravens are 14-3, so it's gonna be easy, far away. We're gonna get in the Ravens fans. We're gonna take 14-3 into the end of the playoffs. Now move on to the AFC South. Starting off with the 4th place Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are the trash team right there. After that, so far since Derrick Henry got injured in the right there so far, so I'm gonna say the Titans fans. I'm gonna say Titans are on the inside. We're gonna take to 4-13 for Tennessee Titans. We're gonna take 4-13 for the Titans. We're not into the playoffs. So since Derrick Henry is not here, so I'm gonna say Tennessee Titans we're going to give a 4-13. You're not gonna get into the playoffs. Now move on to 3rd place in the AFC South, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars last season, they collapsed the season due to they make it to the playoffs and then last chance to enter the playoffs. So I'm gonna say the Jaguars are a. Alright, so as you can see, I got cut out for part 1 because of why due to the really was the BC eating for again. So as you see, I did not get another copy for part 1. I'm gonna do it again for part 2 for cap cut. So we're gonna get the cap cut issues before we're gonna lay on 12 a.m. So Jaguars are 6-11, not bad at all. So we're gonna take it right here. Looks like they're 6-11. They're not gonna enter the playoffs. 2nd place is gonna be Anthony Richardson of the Indianapolis Colts. Last season the Colts are 9-8. That was almost a chance to make it to the playoffs. As the 3rd place right there did not make it as the dropped it by Goodson. Yeah. Colts are player dropped by Goodson as they drop in the football and they did not get the first down. Fortunately, the Colts are not in the playoffs. What a critical drop by Goodson. Did not enter the playoffs for the Colts. And now, instead, the Colts are going to 9-8. I'm going to go over Indianapolis for 9-8. We're not going to enter the playoffs once again.
Register mga deactivate.
So as you see, Colts are 9-8. We're gonna take it over for 9-8 because we're gonna take it to the playoffs. Here and right now, the 9-8 teams gonna take it over right now. The Colts are not in the playoffs. So now, the AFC South champs is gonna be a back-to-back by CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. Last season, the Texans they make it to the divisional round and then lose to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC divisional round. So I'm gonna say the Texans are I believe 11 or 6. I'm gonna go 11-6 by the Texans. will into the playoffs. So the Texans are 11-6, will into the playoffs right there as the 4th seed in the AFC South, and the winner goes to Texans are in 4th and 11-6. Moving on to the AFC West. Starting off with, I'm not gonna go with Las Vegas Raiders. Instead, I'm gonna go with Denver Broncos. I'm gonna go Denver Broncos to 4th place first. Last season, the Broncos are not in the playoffs since Washington Rosen was returned, and did not make it to the playoffs the last time. The Broncos are in the playoffs. It was 2015, who's still playing for Peyton Manning. They're sitting right to the Broncos. So the Broncos are very still trash. I'm gonna say Broncos are 5-12. So Denver Broncos are 5-12, not bad since they're 5-12. So we're not getting the playoffs. Next place is gonna be the 3rd is the Las Vegas Raiders. Last season, Raiders Jimmy Garoppolo is injured since they haven't due to an injury for these issues. So I'm gonna set Raiders fans are gonna go for 6-11 or set 5-12 tied at the same time. So they're gonna go with either 5 or 12 with 6-11. So as you see, 5-12 by Las Vegas Raiders will not enter the playoffs, as in not since the Raiders with Jimmy Garoppolo. Move on to the 2nd place is Los Angeles Chargers. Last season, Justin Herbert did not play in the last 4 games, causing broken finger injury. We're not unable to get back, causing Herbert got injured, did not play each other. So I'm gonna say the Chargers are going to 10-7 into the playoffs with Justin Herbert, and the first season is Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh really, or John Harbaugh. Next season's gonna be very good. I'm gonna go 10-7 for the LA Chargers. So the Chargers are 10-7, very good teams right there, specials. Something right now with a chance. They're now finally gonna finish off the AFC team, the AFC West. The Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes become the strongest team in the NFL. I'm gonna go with either 15-2 or 14-3. I'm gonna go 14-3. While the Kansas City Chiefs tie with the Ravens. So Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs will finish up and wrap up the 14-3, will make it to the playoffs. And now we're headed to the NFC East to start off with Daniel Jones of the New York Giants. Actually, Saquon Barkley, the running back for the New York Giants. So New York Giants last season, they thrashed team once again. And not in the make it to the playoffs. So I'm gonna say the Giants are gonna go to 4-13. We're not into the playoffs.
And
So the Giants are 4-13. We're not gonna make it to the playoffs. The 12th place is gonna allow the Daniel Jones. He's not gonna get into the playoffs right there for the Giants. We'll move on to the next place. It's gonna be 10-year Heinicke's not there right there. The Washington Commanders. Last season Commanders are collapsed in the week 11 because it's still too much injuries. The Commanders are struggling issues to found. We're gonna sense what happened in the injuries. So now we're gonna set your goal for 6-11 for Commanders who are not in the playoffs. So Washington Commanders in 6-11 will finish the playoffs. That's very good game here. So because of the big trash team for the Washington Commanders, this would be the 2nd pick of the Commanders is Jaden Daniels. It's gonna be great. And the 2nd place is gonna be the MVP candidate Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles, because Jalen Hurts said Philadelphia Eagles are still strongest team in the NFL and gonna go at 13-4 or something, 12-5. Once again, last season Eagles are collapsed. It didn't happen and start the week 13 up to them, and except for week 16 win. In week 17 ended up losing the upset against the Cardinals, then they come back once. I'm gonna go 12-5 by the Eagles. So the Philadelphia Eagles are the first place, or 12-5, will enter the playoffs as a 5 seed into the NFC. Now move on to the last place is gonna be the Dallas Cowboys. Last season Dallas Cowboys are still trashed because they hate Cowboys fans. Cowboys fans are annoying trash because of they did not end make it the Super Bowl once again, and so many exits for the Cowboys fans, and it ended up upset to the Green Bay Packers in the NFC wildcard game. So I'm gonna say either 14-3 or 13-4. We're gonna send the Cowboys into the playoffs. So Cowboys are 13-4 into the playoffs as the number 3 seed. This is still opponent right there. I hope someone said okay, we're gonna get inside. So now, move on to the start of the NFC North. NFC North will be represent the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings. So last season, it was the Kurt Cousins. This is the last game and last year, they're not in the roster. So I'm gonna get said the Vikings are Kurt Cousins. They're not able to end. So I'm gonna get the Vikings are, I believe 7 or 10 or 5-12 or 6-11. So the Vikings are 6-11 after Kurt Cousins left the Minnesota fans, and unfortunately, I'm not right there. No, Jefferson said we're not in the playoffs. So next up, third place is the number 1 overall pick. It is. Who's the Bears? The number 1 pick for the draft pick for the Bears is Young. I believe it's Young. It's nonsense. So we're gonna get the Chicago Bears, the number 1 overall pick. Last season, the Bears is still trash, and it happened because the Bears with Justin Fields, and it happened when Justin Fields is injured. Right now, you know. So I'm gonna say the Bears are 7-10, led by the number 1 overall pick is Jalen Reynolds. I believe we'll check the Bears again soon. So led by the first pick and the number 1 overall pick is Caleb Williams. So in 7-10 for Chicago Bears, you're not in the end of the playoffs. It's a great game. I'm gonna say the matchup's gonna good feeling for Chicago. Second place is Jared Goff of Detroit Lions. Last season, Detroit Lions won the first playoff victory since 1991. So I'm gonna say that Jared Goff into the playoffs as the number 6 or 7 will be the second place for Detroit. Into the playoffs will end the finish with either 10-7 or 11-6. So the Lions are 10-7. You make it to the playoffs, might be, sir. It might gonna set the Rams fans gonna hit the halves. With Jared Goff, the Lions are gonna get an NFC Championship last year, then lost to the 49ers. They said. And finally, Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers will finish the first place. Last season, there was the first 7 seed opposite the 2 seed against Dallas before losing to Brock Purdy of the 49ers, who were not in the playoffs, right, sir? I'm gonna get the 7th seed. I'm gonna go for the number 3 seed. With Green Bay Packers are 7-5, led by Jordan Love. They'll make it to the comebacks and go into the playoffs. We're gonna finish off the 12-5 or 11-6. So the Packers are 11-6. Will make it to the playoffs with a right here, led by Jordan Love. This team love it. So we'll finish up the NFC North. Move on to the NFC South as they down the last 2 divisions. Starting off in the Carolina Panthers last season, the number 1 overall pick. Bryce Young set the worst record with 2-15, and I'm gonna say the Panthers fans are ugly. I'm gonna go with the 1-16 or 2-15. So I said I will go for the 3-14. So the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL. With Bryce Young and the number 1 overall pick did not get upset. I'm gonna go the Panthers are 3-14. Second place is the 2018 draft. It's Baker Mayfield of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last season, the Buccaneers into the playoffs as the 4th straight into the playoffs since Tom Brady, and after Tom Brady got retirement last season. So I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield, the Bucs were not in the playoffs, as I believe we're gonna take over 7-10 or 8-9. So Baker Mayfield gonna set 6 or 11, more than a half, in the Bucs are not in the playoffs, and the 12th rank win in. Second place is Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. Last season, Saints are almost make it to the playoffs, the chance to win the NFC South and share a tie with Tampa Bay with 9-8. So fortunately, the Saints are not in the playoffs. Last time the Saints make it to the playoffs with 2020 with those Drew Brees last season. So I'm gonna say Derek Carr. We're going to 8-9 or 7-10. I'm gonna set the Saints will into not and make it to the playoffs. So the Saints are 7-10. It's gonna be a great feeling. We're not in the make it to the playoffs as the number 9 place are now. So we're gonna get the 7th place and the 10. I'm gonna take it in. And finally, the NFC South and the Falcons are gonna get 8-9. Will become the 15 in NFL history to make it to the playoffs as the losing record with 8-9 since 2010. Anytime NFC lost, losing record Since 2010 Seattle Seahawks was 7-9. 2014 Carolina Panthers was 7-8-1. 2020 Washington Commanders, also known as the Washington football team with 7-9, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 8-9. So we're gonna get 8-9 for the Atlanta Falcons. And last but not least, here's the NFC West team. In fourth place is the Arizona Cardinals. Last season, Arizona Cardinals still trash. What happened ever since that happened off against the Eagles? Let's see what is about that in the prime time games. What about the issues? So I'm gonna set the Rams. Cardinals are gonna go with either 215. We're gonna set 215 for the Cards. Okay, so the Cards are 2-15. We'll not make it to the playoffs, and we're gonna enter the draft pick. It's gonna be interesting. So next up is the number third place. It's gonna go to Seattle Seahawks. Last season, the Seahawks are almost make it to the playoffs as they not enter the playoffs and lose to the Rams. They not make it to the playoffs as the scenario. They're not in the 7th seed. Because the last season the Packers got advances to the playoffs and eliminate the Saints and the Seahawks. So I'm gonna say the Seahawks are going to go either 8-9 or 9-8. So the Seattle Seahawks are 9-8. We're not into the playoffs. So we're gonna take it right now. So let's now the Rams. So the LA Rams are gonna go to finish things off. Are gonna go with 8-7. So I'm gonna go to 10-7 or 9-8. Gonna go with 9-8 or 8-9. I'm gonna go 9-8. Last season, Matthew Stanford eliminated those to the Detroit Lions, especially in the former team. What's happening? So I'm gonna go to the Rams are 9-8. We'll make it to the playoffs. So the Rams are 9-8, so we'll make it to the playoffs. And unfortunately, the tiebreaker they share is Seattle Seahawks. It's actually, unfortunately, I'm a mistake. I'm gonna get mistaken because I'm angry. I'm gonna get the Niners win in reverse. I'm gonna get reverse card. Uno reverse card. And then right there we go, 8-9, and the 49ers will be finished with 15-2. Right there, right now. So as you can see, the playoffs are the last standings. Right there, you see divisions, the conference. We got the number 1 overall pick, the number 1 seed in the AFC tied with the Chiefs, and the Ravens are 14-3. Jets are the 13-4. Texans are 11-6. Bengals are 12-5. Bills are 11-6, and Chargers are 10-7. Then in the NFC, we got the 49ers with the best team in the NFC with 15-2. Cowboys are 13-4. Packers are 11-6. Falcons are the losing team with 8-9. Eagles are 12-5. Lions are 10-7. And the Rams are 9-8. So, and that's right there. You see the number 1 overall pick will be the Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers, New York Giants, Tennessee Titans. They're all in drafts. We're making to the playoffs. So check out the 2025 assignment for the schedule, for the upcoming schedules in the year 2025. You see what's going on here. What's about to go easy here so far. So now it's time for to make it to the start of the playoffs. So the first matchup of the day between Joe Burrow and the number 2 overall pick CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans. Rematch of the 2011 and 2012 wildcard game was the Texans twice to beat the Bengals in the wildcard round, and it was broadcast on NBC. And they're gonna say Joe Burrow will make us revenge in Houston. So gonna go the Bengals with the win and move on. Second matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills, the 2 of the AFC East rival. Josh Allen versus Aaron Rodgers. Is gonna be a great game here, and I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets. Jets will move on to pass over Buffalo Bills. And finally, the battle of the Harbaugh brothers as John versus Jim. The Chargers and the Ravens is gonna feeling good. I'm gonna do some damage right here, especially unless potentially the Ravens will beat the Chargers. And I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. Move on the NFC. We got the Eagles play the Falcons. So I'm gonna go to set the Philadelphia Eagles for pass over the Atlanta Falcons. Next, we got the 2 of the NFC North rival between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Rematch of the 1993 and 1994 playoff wild card. The Packers won twice. So they're gonna say the Packers will win. They destroyed the Detroit Lions. And finally, the Cowboys will defeat over Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams. Time to move on to the divisional round. We only have 5 seats, so 2 number 5 seats right here in the NFC. In the AFC, right in the NFC, you see what's happening in the matchup between Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. We got the Jets and the Ravens, and I'm gonna go offset here. I'm gonna go the Jets will stun Baltimore and then move on to the AFC Championship. And we have Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. There's gonna be another rivalry matchup, the AFC Championship rematch of the 2021 and 22. And I'm gonna say the Chiefs will win over the Bengals, and the Deja Vu will win twice. And the trilogy in the playoffs, and this time it was the AFC division round. Next up, we got the rivalry continues, the rematch of the NFC wildcard, where it was the Green Bay Packers upset the Dallas Cowboys. That was the upset of the year. The number 7 seed stun the number 2 seed, and they're gonna revenge there. I'm gonna say Dak Prescott will revenge. Will destroy over the Green Bay Packers. We'll move on to the NFC Championship, and finally the Eagles and the Niners. It's gonna be interesting here. I'm gonna say Brock Purdy of the 49ers will pass over the Eagles. Move on to the Conference Championship round. We got the Jets, Chiefs, and Cowboys 49ers. So the first AFC Championship game, we got Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. So then we got the Jets and the Chiefs for the chance to move on to the Super Bowl. And I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs will move on into the Super Bowl 59. And the Cowboys 49ers. And we're gonna get right there. I'm gonna say Dak Prescott will stun San Francisco and then move on to the Super Bowl 59. It's gonna be interesting here. We got the Super Bowl 59 matchup between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce alongside Taylor Swift for the Kansas City Chiefs. Take on Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cowboys are not chance. The last time the Cowboys won Super Bowl 3, and the Chiefs are going to make history to go for the 3P. And we're gonna upset there as the Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl 59, stunning Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. So the last time the Cowboys not won a Super Bowl, it was 1995 season, was taken long. So I'm gonna end it right there. Let's see the screen right now. Want to update it right now, and that should do it. We'll end with the screen. So that will do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. So there's no NBA 2K12 upload on the All-Star because the internet's still in the red. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, if the internet will working and we're back up to NBA 2K12, we'll get started again because it's in the internet connections. And we're gonna get it on a CapCut will be get in. As the Olympics still ongoing right there, as the United States play Brazil continues in the quarterfinal of the gold of the Olympic basketball men's quarterfinalists. That's it for now, and I'm Andre Kenshin. We'll see you tomorrow in the NBA 2K12. We'll be coming back. We'll be right back soon, and sign up and peace out. Comment down below.